I was thinking about, I was a truck driver for 20 years. I'm kind of still a truck driver now. Uh, Job's a little weird, niche job. I work in tech, but I still drive a truck, but it's done by remote now. But I work in an office, and job's extremely repetitive, and it's 12-hour shifts, 24/7, so night shift, day shift, and it's driving. They grabbed a bunch of truck drivers, and we're doing this job now. So they took people out of it. No, they didn't take. We stepped out of a truck, and now we're working in an office, and we've been doing it for about a year now, and it's driving a lot of people nuts. When I first got there, I thought, oh my god, this is a dream come true. For a truck driver, this is the best trucking job you could ever imagine. You're home every day. You work in an office. You don't got to get beat up by the road. You don't got to deal with the general population, the normies that cut you off and flip you off and do stupid things on the road all day long, which we deal with every single day. Because when you're at your job, you don't have to deal with everybody else. When we're at our job, we're on the road, and we got to deal with everybody else. And people starting to crack. I started to crack too. I was like, man, this is driving me completely insane. Like, I can't take it. And I was like, I was an owner operator for 5 years. So being a truck driver, working for a company like Swift or whatever, those kind of companies, you're not really like a craftsman at all. You're just kind of like, it's a lower level job. They all tell you what to do, where to go. You don't get much freedom. Job's monotonous. You're just driving all day long. There's some kind of freedom to it because you're alone, but not that much. When you're an owner operator, it becomes a craft. Like you're in logistics, you're in planning, you're planning your route, you're planning your week, you're talking to brokers, your business, you're making hard, important decisions every single day. Your skill level backing up, all kinds of stuff. It becomes a total craft. And I was missing it big time. And after being an owner operator and you lose at it, it's a grind. It's a total grind. I was working 20 hours a day. I was up 20 hours a day working in my truck. I was living in my truck basically for 5 years. And I thought, but when I was doing it, I thought, man, am I crazy? Like, why am I doing it? And you dream and fantasize about being home every day and having a normal life. And then I got it, and I was like, God damn, I missed my freaking truck. I was like, I was like, why? Why am I missing my truck? I shouldn't be missing my truck. It was a struggle. It was it was the highest highs and the lowest lows. Like you didn't know what the day was gonna bring out on the road on your own, completely on your own authority, your own truck, your own everything. Nobody to save you, nobody to help you, completely on your own, trying to build a company, And it is so hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, ever. Hardest I've ever worked. And then when you're off, you're not really off. You're doing the back office stuff. You're worrying about regulations. You're worrying about all the paperwork, the permits, insurance. You're never really off. You're never really off. You always got stuff to do. There's always stuff to do. Always. You could just work every single day forever doing that. Clean your truck, change your oil if you could do all that stuff yourself. Like, there's always stuff to do. Take it to go get maintained on your day off. Oh, it's my day off. It's the only time I have to go get an oil change or some kind of work done to the truck. And working in an office doing an extremely repetitive, it's like meaningless work. It's just like meaningless work. You never accomplish anything. The work is done in the most ineffective, inefficient way possible. Like, it's just done so inefficiently. It's so abstract to reality that it's driving me nuts, and it's driving other people's nuts. being micromanaged constantly. Just the work itself is so inefficient, ineffective. It's just terrible. Just, as a person dealing in reality, and even driving a truck, go get the load, drive it over here, offload it. You're doing something. Something's being accomplished. With this job, nothing's being accomplished. There's nothing, and I started thinking, why am I feeling like this? I shouldn't crave the hell that was being an owner operator, but I am. I'm craving it big time. I miss it big time. It was meaningful. It was a purpose behind it. It was high stakes, and I started looking at a couple of different sociologies and philosophies, and I was thinking, what's wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Am I the one losing my mind? But no, I'm not the only one. There's other people now losing their minds too. Like, man, I can't take this anymore. They're like, I can't take this. Like, on paper, it's a dream job, but when you do it, it's like, man, it feels terrible. And one of the sociologies is Habitus. Habitus is like basically all of your style, your wants, your mannerisms, the way you talk, the way you eat, all that stuff is like learned through your class. Like the top class, they have their own habitus. They have their fine art and their yachts and country clubs and the way they talk and they eat, and all the way down to your East Los Angeles gangs. They have their habitus. This thing goes through all classes. It's not only rich people or anything like that. It's the whole class systems of how the unwritten rules of basically how you live, act, and function is kind of you learn it through your class. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense. Yeah, mine would be, I don't know, blue collar truck driver. Maybe some people will call average man working, not no elite in anything, like just get stuff done kind of guy. But definitely blue collar, lower, coming up, lower class, moving up to middle class as an adult. And the next one would be Alienation by Karl Marx. Yeah, don't let the name freak you out. Yes, he's a terrible philosopher, 100%. But he had one concept that he was really right on. It's called alienation, and that's basically is the essence of a human is to work and create, right? Like to do something, and working is part of that essence, right? And it made me think of like craftsmen, right? Because I've been looking at different trades and crafts to try to get into to get out of this office setting. And some of the office people are like, you're crazy if you want to go into trades. You're 45, 44 years old. I'm like, yeah, but this is driving me completely insane. This abstract, meaningless, purposeless office work is literally driving me up the wall. Like, I can't take it. My mind is like going crazy here. So I started looking at the trades. I'm like, then I seen Karl Marx's concept, and basically, yeah, he says, when you work for like a factory, you're making something that you're not even buying. Like, you don't even use the stuff you're making. It's abstract to you. You're treated like a cog in a machine. You're just a machine making other things, and that kind of like steals your essence. You have no connection to it. There's no craft to it. It's just a repetitive over and over and over again thing. And it alienates you from the product. It alienates you from the customers. It alienates you from you getting a craft, having a craftsman feeling towards what you're doing, like a skill, like you're creating something. And then I found another concept. It's called Soulcraft by this modern philosopher. He's alive right now. He wrote a book called Shop Classes Soulcraft or something like that. He's basically saying the answer to all this is the shop, is learn to craft, and that how incredibly hard it is to learn a trade or a craft and to become a master at it, and how it deals with reality and is not abstract at all. And I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. This is exactly what I'm feeling. Is the job is so abstract and so meaningless and purposeless that it's making me feel like super anxiety about it. Like when I'm there, I'm like, I have anxiety. I want to get out of here. Like I felt that in high school. I didn't like school. Like I don't want to. Why are we here in this building? And they label you as ADHD or whatever. I was like, wait a minute. You're presupposing that this is supposed to be what we're doing. Like we're supposed to be in a young men are supposed to be in a classroom sitting still at age 15, 16, 17. Like, why do you presuppose that's a good idea? Just because that's the system we're in doesn't mean that's the most ideal or the right system to be in. That doesn't mean that at all. In fact, maybe the ADHD people, that's a sign that they're not supposed to be in a classroom 8 hours a day. They be productive somewhere else. Not one size fits all. Yeah. So Matthew Crawford, shop class as Soulcraft is basically saying this office work is abstract and gaslit. Manual trades are objective and sane. That's basically what it boils down to. And the Karl Marx uh, alienation is when you separate a man's hands from his mind and turn him into a cog for someone else's machine, you break his spirit. That's basically sums it down. And Karl Marx went nuts into capitalism, but that doesn't matter. He was right about that. He was definitely right about uh, the mindless, mind-numbing work. It does more damage than people think. And yeah, that's just the realization I was having or had. I was like, why am I going crazy with this good job? This good job. And I definitely don't want to go back in a truck. I've done 20 years and I'm done. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do anything with trucking. I'm thinking of looking into a trade, trying this YouTube thing just to see where that goes. But yeah, that's what I was looking at. So if you're feeling that kind of way, you're not crazy. Definitely not crazy. You're not ADHD. You're not none of that crap. You would have to question: is this system the best system? Is that job the best way to live? And I don't think so. I rather I rather do something in reality. I rather do something objective that makes something, builds something that people use. As a trucker, I would tell myself, yeah, I'm helping feeding people. I would haul a lot of food and be like, yeah, there's families that are gonna go to the grocery store and buy all this stuff I'm hauling there. Like I'm a part of something bigger. I'm moving food and products that people are using every day, buying every day, selling every day. And now I'm in this just abstract, meaningless, purposeless work. Pays well, it's easy, but my mind is screaming at me to get out of here. And at first I thought I was crazy. I'm not crazy. Definitely not. It's I need a craft. It's just what I need. My mind craves something. My habitus is blue collar. My mind craves a craft, and being a cog in a giant machine or a abstract venture capitalist AI experiment isn't what my mind desires to be in, isn't what my soul desires to be a part of. And that's okay. Somebody else wants to do it, they could do it all they want. Yeah, and these crafts, they become part of your um, identity. When I was owner operator, it was part of my identity. And I thought about that too. I'm like, yeah, they do. These things do become part of your identity, just like that's how a lot of the last names came from. John Smith, he was the blacksmith. John Baker, he was the baker. John Wright was a builder. John Taylor, he was the tailor. Like, it was so part of their identity that it became their last name. So this is not all like a far fetched, crazy idea. This is how humans have been for the longest time. Is we've been craftspeople. We've been craftsmen and craftswomen. We've had jobs, careers, functions in society that we were in reality. We used our hands. We built something, made something, sold it to the person face to face. You know, we had a customer base. We dealt with it from beginning to end, and now we don't. A lot of us don't have that, and I think I'm gonna look into the Soulcraft, into trades, yeah, and get a craft and learn it. Like I said, trucking's not for me anymore. 20 years of it, I want no part of it no more. It's kind of a craft, but not. It depends on what level you're at in it. If you're an owner operator or like a specialty truck driver, it's definitely craft like. If you're just at the bottom of the barrel and you're just a driver, there's names for you, just a steering wheel holder. That's definitely a thing too. But yeah, these things are part of our identities and part of our essence. Like Karl Marx said, it's funny saying that, but yeah, he was right about that. Is that concept is it does hurt your spirit when you're a cog in the machine to these abstract jobs, these jobs that are not basically in like you're not a part of it at all. Besides doing a meaningless small task in a big chain of events that you never are really like a part of.